Yes. So I'm very excited to be here at the Zoller showroom. It is a fantastic showroom that I am currently standing in. And thanks to Mr. Amit Salunke to allow us to do this presentation and collaborate for an event between Transor India and Zoller India. So I'll just briefly introduce myself. My name is Ajinkya Kelkar. I am the director of Transor India and Innovation Filter Systems. So both these companies are into fluid filtration, industrial fluid filtration, out of which in Transor we give solutions for grinding oil filtration, especially for tool and cutter grinding applications. And Mr. Salunke.
Hi, good evening everyone. Myself, Amit Salunke. I'm working as a General Manager for Zoller India and Southeast Asia. Certainly, when we come together with a discussion for webinar, so very first time some people ask question that how the inspection machine and the filtration system work together. So that's what we are going to present in today's session. Basically, our main focus in this session on Industry 4.0 solution for cutting tool manufacturing companies and the importance of the filtration system in a cutting tool. So this is our core agenda for the today's session. So we'll start with Industry 4.0 solution session. Before that, I'll just ask Ajinkya to share his things and then we can continue with the presentation.
Sure. I have prepared a brief presentation on Transor. It is hardly a minute. Basically, Transor India is a joint venture between Innovation Filter Systems and Transor Germany. Transor India started in 2015. Transor Germany is in existence since 1981 with locations across the globe. And like I said, Transor India as well as Transor Germany both specialize in providing grinding oil filtration solutions for carbide grinding, steel grinding, HSS, ceramic grinding, EDM, as well as honing. This is a brief about how the Transor system works. Actually, thanks to Mr. Salunke, he allowed us to bring one of our systems over here. So at the end of the session, I'll be explaining that particular system to all of you. These are some of the installations that we have done since 2015. And I'm very proud to share about our recent installation at LMT Tools. We installed two systems over there. One is connected to 14 machines, around 1,500 liters per minute. And other one is connected to 8 tool and cutter grinding machines, which is about 1,000 liters per minute. A brief about innovation filter systems as well. So all non-oil applications are handled by innovation filter systems. So like coolant filtration or phosphating solutions or degrease solutions. These are some of the applications for which innovation gives systems. These are some of our conventional or standard products that we make. And innovation has also made some centralized systems. So these are some of the photos. So now I will request Mr. Salunke to explain his products and how those products provide Industry 4.0 solutions, or how can customers achieve Industry 4.0 using Zoller products.
So basically, I will not give much more information about Zoller because I assume that most of the cutting tool manufacturing companies, they already know much about the Zoller. But I'll just give the quick introduction and then we can start with a presentation on our products. So basically, Zoller is a German company which is established in 1945, which is quite close to Stuttgart. And since there we are manufacturing various types of tool presetters. Then we came into the tool inspection machines in year 2000. And afterwards, continuously we are developing our machines to the next level to cater the requirement of our esteemed tool manufacturing customers. So without wasting the time, we'll quickly go on our products and then we'll start the Industry 4.0 presentation on cutting tool manufacturing sector. So basically, as our agenda for today is Industry 4.0 solution for cutting tool manufacturers. Basically, when we hear a term about the industry 4.0, we always say, okay, this is something for a manufacturing companies who is manufacturing parts, who is manufacturing different crucial components, and this basically for them. But certainly this is equally important for a cutting tool manufacturers to streamline their processes, to streamline their production practices, to achieve the more output with more controlled conditions in a manufacturing setup. Basically, when we start cutting tool manufacturing process, there is always like various applications or various materials involved in a process. Like we have start from the carbide rods, then we have a blank preparation, we have a grinding wheels, we have within a grinding wheels again we have multiple parts. So basically for manufacturers it's getting much more difficult to control their wheel packs, to control their consumption of the carbide rods, to control their processes. So here with this system, with a Zoller tool management solution software and hardware, we introduce our processes for cutting tool manufacturing companies as well. So here we'll quickly see a live demo that how this system will work in your company. Basically we have multiple hardware options. I'll quickly share a screen so you can get a detailed view from the screen also. So I hope you can see the complete screen, and then you can imagine this is your job sheet where you wanted to produce a end mill 10 mm with the specific dimensions, and from here the crucial part start, because we depend on people that okay, somebody will prepare the wheel pack, somebody will prepare the carbide rods, or somebody will do this job, but we wanted to know who is that somebody. So here with this system we can streamline this process. You can see on the first page, this is our information page where you can see what is the part number, which is the machine we are going to use for produce this particular tool. Then certainly there is a material or the article number, the drawing number. Then there is also option for a drawing where you can see the drawing on your screen while preparing the job sheet. This is very important part, because whenever we produce a cutting tool, I saw in numbers of companies, the drawing is getting much more oily and it's always, sometimes it's not able to identify the values and so on. But if you have this on your screen, you can immediately see, okay, what I have to do with this particular setup. So this is something what you can see. Then there is also option for the unmachined component. So this is my component which I'm going to use. Then there is also option to see the full machine part. So what I'm going to produce out of this. So here this is the basics or the beginning of this setup, and then certainly we have a machining time, and then we have also the setup change time. So this you can list in front of your document area. And then most important part is again start now is the items required to produce this part. So what I need is I need one end mill blank, then I need the grinding wheel, then I need one more grinding wheel and one more grinding wheel. Then here we have basically the most important that we can simply check out this system from the control cabinets. I just press one button and here the traceability part start. What is the traceability? Because when managing director or when the manager asks how many carbide rods we consume for produce this part, and nobody is really there to answer properly. They said, okay, I got one rod and I do that, and certainly there is much more blah, blah, blah is start. So here we give much more control environment. You need this item for which machine, who is the person in charge, for what department, for part number. So here you can get the complete traceability. You can say, okay, I need this. Then it's a complete guided process, guide you through the checkout processing. So now you need this complete item. So you can, okay, you can verify the list of the items you require to make this part, right? Then you can go, okay, I just need these items. You can simply print out this document, or you say, okay, no, I don't want print. And you can see now it's a guided process. Where is your first item located? Okay, this is located in this particular drawer, in this particular pocket. You can pick up your item. Then you get the next item at the next location, which is your arbor. So you can say, okay, now I need a next item. So next item is located at the different location, and you can imagine your process when you wanted to take this out. You always depend on somebody. So here I need my first item or the next item, then my next item like my grinding wheel. So I can take out my grinding wheel, I can place it. Then I need next item, my spacers. For assemble this wheel pack, I take out. So it's complete guided process, one after other. So whatever item you require to make the assembly of your wheel pack, you can simply withdraw and then you can go to the next level. And then you have next item again at different location. You can simply pick up and you just say, okay, I'm done with my checkout for first setup. Now you get assemble or the loose items. Now my next items is located in next cabinet. So I can quickly say, okay, here is my next item for this process. I confirm. Then I get next item which is involved in this process. You can see here. So you can simply pick up your assembled wheel packs or you can get your loose components in this process. Confirm. And now you can imagine for doing this task in your organization, how much time you require and how much people involved in this process. So here, Zoller always try to minimize your, you can say, efforts, maximize your productivity, and definitely you get a guided process for your activities. Now, I'll just quickly go to the very fantastic function in this process called Assembly Advisor. Now, during assemble your wheel pack, there is always again the possibility of mistakes is huge because you are depend on a people, and when you are depend on a people, there is a possibility of micro errors. I never say that okay, people cannot do the perfect job, but there is always the possibility of some micro errors, and to avoid that micro errors, we develop a really excellent function called our Assembly Advisor. You can see now here is your wheel pack with multiple items in, and then you can say okay, there is my wheel, there is the spacers, arbor, and so on. Now I wanted to assemble this part. So you can say, okay, what I need is, I need arbor, I just pick up. Then what I need next is a spacer with the specification. And you can see on your screen, there is a specification listed for everything. What is the width, what is the thickness, or what is the diameter. Then you can take the next items which is involved in this process. Certainly there is the quantity also listed, and you can see on your drawing also that when I assemble the next item, you can see here the graphics. So it makes your user life much more easier, and it's always like your process is driven by the system or the correct system. So you don't need to really say, okay, I made a wrong assembly of my wheel pack or I made anything wrong in my process. So it's a completely guided process, and you are done with your complete assembly. So it's a complete error-proof system. So this is what I would say Industry 4.0 for my people. Industry 4.0 is certainly very big terminology. What is important for my shop floor, how I can pick up it and how I can process it is always important. Now, in this presentation, our next important part is basically the measurement of the wheel pack. This is also another crucial part. This is also another challenge. So here with this machine, we have an option that we can also measure a wheel pack. So I quickly show you. I think most of the viewers might be aware about this, our smile check machine. So on this machine, you have a possibility that you can measure your wheel pack. I'll quickly move out the trolley. So you can also get the complete view of it. Right? So now we wanted to measure this wheel pack, and certainly this automated machine can measure these things very easily. You just need to press OK. I just wanted to measure all steps on this wheel pack, and certainly this machine can go to the measurement position, so we can make this complete program. Maybe I'll quickly share a screen again so you can see what is happening on a screen. So you can see the precise measurement from your wheel pack. You complete the first measurement, you can give the command for a next measurement, or you can make the complete sequence of the measurement. All is possible certainly. You measure your second step, then you go to the third step, your measurement is done. Now the next challenge, I measure these things. how I can communicate with the grinding machine. Here, Zoller again makes the life easier. We have certainly the interface with multiple grinding machines or the multiple grinding softwares. So here we can, under one button, we can simply export the measured value to the particular system. So here we can select the machine from the process or from your list, and you say, okay, output this data in that machine control specific format. You can just send this data directly to the machine. You can also define, okay, this is my setup number, and you can directly overwrite or you can send the data to the particular machine. The life is this much easy when you have a particular or specific application or the machines in your shop floor, which can definitely help you to improve your process. Now, the next important part is measurement of the blanks, because when we produce the complete tool and then we measure and we found, there is a mistake. So there is no chance for that. So basically when you start process, you can ensure that the items involved in this process is 100% perfect. So here you can go again on the same machine, you can also measure your blanks. So it doesn't matter if it is a straight blank or if it is the multi-step or multi-profiles. You can simply create a program for that, and you can directly go on a machine. You can load your wheel pack, load your blank on a machine. You can clamp it. Certainly there is a possibility with the same machine with a hour clamping spindle. So you can clamp your tool with a button. You can simply say, okay, I wanted to measure this, run out spatially because this is a straight blank. So you can certainly ensure the run out conditions, and you can also measure the diameter. So Zoller always try to assure the error-proof system in your shop floor. And that is what Industry 4.0 solution for me in my shop floor. Because I don't want you to see that what is Industry 4.0 for others. What is Industry 4.0 for me is the streamlined process in my shop floor. So right, I can measure these things. Certainly you have a possibility that you can measure the back taper, you can measure the run out conditions, and then your tool is ready for the production. So this is what you can achieve from this machine. Now, once you send the data of the wheel pack, once you send the information from the tool, you can see certainly you can measure the concentricity of the things, and you are done. You get your result. Okay, what is your run out condition, what is your diameter, and now you are ready with a process of production. So now you can see that you are already foolproof with the wheel pack, you are foolproof with your carbide rod, and now you are ready to go to the grinding machine. Let's go to the next station where you already grind your tool or you are in process of grinding, you already did the 50% process and you wanted to ensure some intermediate measurements or intermediate, you can say the process oriented measurements. And for that, we have a next machine which is called POM Basic. So with this machine, you can certainly measure the intermediate things. Like you generate the helix angle or you did some phase geometries, you wanted to measure that phase geometries, certainly you can do that. I'll just quickly share this screen too. So where you can see the process, how we measure it. Certainly on this machine, we have a quick change fixture. So you can quickly place your tool on a machine and then you can check. Why we say this process oriented measurement? This should be a quick enough because your machine has been stopped. You wanted to verify some quick parameters. You can quickly go on this system. You can load your tool and say, okay, I just wanted to measure a chamfer width or some land width. It's really an excellent interface. You no need to depend or you no need to make a point out of it. You just draw a line and the excellent interface between the user and the software is automatically pick the highest point. You get your desired positions. So this is something you can do with our POM Basic machine. Here you can get an in-process measurement. Certainly with this picture, you can also rotate by different degrees, different positions, and you can also measure the parameter from the circumference. So this machine made for in-process measurement, or the people who is using this tool, they can use this machine for an incoming tool measurement. So this machine has a wide possibilities. You can certainly have a different types of measurement on this machine. You can measure the step length, you can measure the angles, but basically we designed this for the in-process measurement where you can complete your processes to the next level. Now you're done with the in-process measurement, you found there is some deviation or all is good, then you can go to the next step, is the final inspection of your tool. Or you can go back to your grinding machine, you can correct it. Certainly we have an interface again with this machine to your grinding machine, you can send the corrections back or you can just correct it directly on a machine. Now come to the next machine, which is again the very important machine for the cutting tool manufacturers. If you name any big cutting tool manufacturer or mid-sized cutting tool manufacturer, they already have this machine in their, I can say, the manufacturing area or the QC area. Maybe my colleague will quickly zoom out. You can see this machine is the all-new Genius machine. Recently, one of our customers from North India, they have this machine in their shop floor, and certainly the feedback from them is really make us happy that, okay, this machine perform as per their expectation. So this is 5-axis fully CNC inspection machine where you can inspect almost all parameter on your cutting tool. So almost all parameter on your cutting tool. Here we'll quickly see the things inside the machine. So you can see here we have a optic carrier where we have a 2D measurement camera or where we have a 3D measurement camera. On this machine we can measure the tool in a 2D diameter 40 micron and up to diameter 340. And similarly the next machine we have with a 0.8 mm diameter to diameter 340. And certainly for the 3D parameters also we have a different version on a camera side where you can measure the micro tools in your machine. So certainly I'll quickly show that how it's work. So here is the interface of the software with the hardware items, and with the press of button. Certainly we already set up the program for this presentation, but certainly when you wanted to see more detailed presentation, we can make a specific presentation for your company with much more detailed functionality, I would say. So now I'll quickly run this program, just one button, and you can measure all the geometries available on your cutting tool. It's fully CNC, 5-axis. So you can directly go on your cutting edge and you can certainly define the measuring objects, what you wanted to measure, like you wanted to measure helix angle, you wanted to measure land width, you wanted to measure the relief, primary, secondary, you wanted to measure the parameter from the chip space, or you wanted to measure the parameter from the end face. So you can measure certainly the complete tool. I'll quickly run the complete program. So now you can go for tool search tip. So here the most important part is if your tool loaded at the different position, you don't need to worry for that. The machine is smart enough to find the highest cutting edge on your contour on your tool, and it will automatically measure the complete things. So now we get the 2D reference for a measurement. Certainly it's a synchronization of 2D and 3D together. So you can measure 2D as well as you can measure 3D parameters. And now you can see on your screen, right side, whatever the parameter you decided to measure, on your screen you can see how it's performing the measuring process. It's completely independent from the man. And certainly with this machine, we have an interface with most of the grinding machines where we can send a data back or we can retrieve the data from the machine, and we can certainly push for the next level of inspection machine in our shop floor. And again, it's a much more guided process, right? So you can ensure that start from check out my accessories till the end of the production, we can really link everything together, and then we can really perform the really excellent grinding process in our manufacturing plant. And here the Zoller team is much more happy to support you to do these things on your shop floor. You can see the same machine can measure the tool from the end face, and it's fully automatic. I no need to touch for any single button or any single hardware from the machine. It's performed 100% automatic. So this is always the dream from every cutting tool manufacturer, that my QC should be improved to the next level. And with our Genius 3 machine or our Genius machine, you can definitely get these things done really easily. We have excellent experts who is working in this field from the decades and who develop these machines to the next level, the software, the hardware, according to the customer desire. So this is something what we offer with our Genius machine. But actually, the process is not end here. We measure our tool, we measure all the geometries. Now the new trend is I wanted to also ensure my edge honing on my cutting edge, because this is a demand of most of the applications. And then we have a next machine for that. So this is our, I would say, POM SKP Go, very important machine in this field of inspection, where you can really ensure the edge honing of your tools. I'll quickly share the next screen, which is really a crucial part for every manufacturer. We made 100% good tool, but again we faced some challenges regarding the performance of the tool, or some other factors which really might be a finish, or might be some other objectives. So here with this machine, we really overcome those challenges as well. So I just quickly, we already positioned this tool. So you have a possibility that you can position the tool at the different angles. You can adjust the sensor height. So you have a longer tool or you have a shorter tool, you can do that. We have a universal fixture. On this fixture, you can load the tool with the multiple diameters. We have a possibility that you can load also the insert on the same fixture. So we made this fixture universal. Certainly, we always, when we talk about the measurement, we always see the customer perspective, how they wanted to have their process, or how they wanted to have their one fixture can be used for all the multiple options. So with this system, with this fixture, you can certainly load the different diameter and the insert too. I'll just quickly perform the measurement. So with one button, you can say, okay, measure this tool. And here we have a stripe projector technology. So we can certainly measure this tool, maybe the 1.8 mm by 1.8 mm area, we can measure certainly. So once we, within a 30 seconds, it's perform the complete measurement. Let's imagine 30 seconds. So this machine is not made for a lab. This machine is made for the shop floor use. Certainly there are options which guaranteed the similar things, but it's take hours to measure one simple object. And here we made this machine for your shop floor use, not to keep inside the lab for some specific people. This is for your shop floor people. They can do the things, they can verify it, they can qualify the tool for the dispatch. So this is something what we ensure. Now you can measure the things, you get your results. You can certainly check the 3D object, or you can check the K factor. So the experts from the edge honing can definitely see this, you can say the possibility of measurement, or possibility of, you can say the job can be done from this machine. So you can certainly check the 3D profile, you can zoom in, zoom out, and you can see your edge honing profile on your tool. So you know the importance of the edge honing. Certainly this machine can really help you out to establish your edge honing process for your different application. Now, job is not end here, because I done from the checkout, we made assembly of the tool, we measure the things, and we perform the tool cutting, or we produce the tool. But we talk about the traceability on very first time. We talk about something like Industry 4.0. So what is traceability? How many components I have checked out from my store and where it is now. So we go back to the store again, and we can see the things in a circulation. We can see, we can get these things back into the process. So I'll quickly go back to the store module again. So here we check out everything from this specific cabinets, this specific hardware system and the software system. Now you can just click on a one button and you can check what are the things available on a shop floor. I'll quickly share my screen again, so you can see certainly from the screen. So we have checked out this item on this date at this particular time, and by whom, by what cost center, or by which cost center for which machine. So you can get entire data. And now you done your with production. The rule in a company is deposit everything back into the same location at the same place, or there is a possibility that if anything damaged, you can certainly scrap it, or you can send it for the repair. So here I quickly run this check-in process, and again you can say, okay, I wanted to check in data record. So now you can see it's offer you the complete traceability. Now here you can see this particular item is in a red. So it's only the one quantity, or it's a missing quantity. in your store or is at the minimum level. Now you can say, okay, I wanted to post everything back into the store. I just don't want to print anything, or you wanted to print anything, you have a possibility to do that. Maybe I don't want to check in this item back because this is already in a production. You wanted to, let's say, okay, this part, I wanted to say, okay, it's already sent to the discard, and then rest of the items I wanted to put in back into the store. So you can really perform the same things and you can put it back into the same storage location. So this is something really help you out in your manufacturing process. So this rod, certainly I can, let's say, place it back to the same location. Again, what I need to keep is my arbor. So I can simply lose this assembly, which we assembled earlier, and then we can post everything back. So this is something what we can do. So like this, you can see that we can offer the complete traceability to the manufacturing team to having this system in our manufacturing process. So certainly we can have this question and answer session at the end of the session. So this is what Industry 4.0 solution in my grinding process, which is offering from Zoller Germany or Zoller India. If you have a question, certainly we will share our email IDs, or we'll share our contact details. We have office in Bangalore, we have office in Chennai, we have office in Delhi, we have people in Ahmedabad. Certainly Pune is our headquarters. We have multiple people available in Pune. So you can contact us anytime for this user-specific demo. If you wanted to see much more in a detail, our showroom is open. You can come down, you can see, and you can see how this can be interfaced or involved in my company. So this is something we offer. Now I'll quickly hand over the things to Mr. Ajinkya. So he will speak about the Transor system, which can be definitely help you out in your grinding process, and what is the importance of your filtration system. Because certainly, as we discussed with Ajinkya, and he explained me really nicely about the filtration system.
I am really, I mean, I'd heard about Zoller, but I mean, getting to know about Zoller systems in depth and how in-depth technology and the software part of it, I'm still not understood it, but definitely I got the sense that in general, the measurement part, how the tools are loaded, the grinding wheels are loaded in the machine, how machine and the tools can be, I mean, you can get the feedback immediately. So all this information was new to me. So in my opinion, Industry 4.0 is an interaction between man and a machine. And certainly this is not a new trend. Industry 4.0 it has, since the machines have come up, it is the trend is on. Industry 4.0 right now, it is just a buzz. But in my opinion, in the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, it has no longer been a buzzword. It is more of a need now. Because, I mean, as all of us would have experienced, many of our employees could not come to work. Many of our customers, they were not working from their usual locations. So communicating with them, communicating with our production team was a challenge. So everybody had to adapt, and everybody did adapt. And that is what, in my opinion, is Industry 4.0. So how does Transor India or Transor Systems help in achieving Industry 4.0? Filtration is not a new concept. Certainly, since there has been machines or machining, the need for filtration is felt, and people are providing those solutions. But what Transor does is that we understand that maintaining the oil or maintaining the grinding oil is a non-value adding activity for cutting tool manufacturers. So we take that responsibility on ourselves. I mean, right from maintaining the quality of the oil every time it enters your machine, as well as making it available at a certain flow rate or quantity and at whatever specification the machine requires. So that is where Transor comes in. So the Industry 4.0 concept for Transor is inbuilt in its design. Because if we think about filters or filtration, immediately it comes to the mind that filters will have to be changed frequently. Transor systems by design are the requirement of filters in general is not frequent. So there have been many installations that we have done since 2015 where we have not changed the filter elements at all till date. Or there have been majority of our installations we have changed the filter elements only once. So one filter element change in almost 6 years. So by design, the systems are not consumables, or they are not, our main revenue stream is not the replacing the filters. And that is why Transor systems are preferred for this particular application. Now let me just briefly tell you what the system is. So I thank Mr. Salunke that he allowed us to get one of our systems over here. So this system is going to be connected to one grinding machine. Certainly this is not a challenge for us. We can, in the earlier presentation that I had shared, we can have a centralized system where their entire shop floor can be, or all the machines can be connected to one single system. But the basic principle remains the same. So the grinding machine, the drain of the grinding machine, dirty oil is connected to this valve. This side is the dirty oil collection compartment. This is the filter pump. Through the filter pump, we supply dirty oil inside where there are filter vessels. The filter elements that we make are called Transor compact filters. So the beauty of these systems, of these elements, is that one element is capable of giving almost 35 liters per minute of flow for a normal grinding machine. Now the filtered oil, it comes out from the elements and is collected in the clean oil compartment, from where this pump like this, a clean oil pump, will deliver oil at a certain flow and pressure to the grinding machine. During grinding or during the filtration process, because we are pumping the oil, there is heat added inside the oil, and that is detrimental for the tolerances or specifications for the cutting tool. Cutting tool manufacturers require thermal stability, so they don't want fluctuations in the temperature of the grinding oil. So that's why we provide a chiller unit as well along with our system. That chiller unit, we did not bring it over here, but this pump is where the clean oil is circulated through the chiller, and that cooled oil is then supplied to the machine. So the chilling as well as the filtration process happens simultaneously. Now, like I said, these systems are completely man independent. For cleaning the filter elements, nobody has to go and do something. It is pre-programmed using a PLC, and what it does is, at a preset time, which is settable again, we stop the filtration and we allow compressed air to pass through the filter element. Now what that does is the whatever dirt or carbide or HSS that is trapped by these elements, that gets dislodged because of the high pressure compressed air, and that carbide along with some oil comes inside a sludge tank like this. Now inside the sludge tank there is a slurry of carbide. Now what we do is we want to provide as dry carbide as possible. So we suck out the excess oil from the sludge tank that enters or goes back to the dirty oil compartment. So it comes back into circulation. So there is not a single drop of oil that is wasted. So because of this, it has been reported by many of our customers that the top-up required after installation of a Transor system is quite low. There is no frequent filter change with Transor systems. The oil consumption is reduced, as well as because of high degree of filtration, the filtration that we guarantee is 3 microns. Because of this, the oil, even after 2 years or 1 year or 3 years of continuous use, it looks like it has just been poured out of the new barrel. So it is absolutely crystal clean. And because of this, the overall oil requirement comes down. And these are just the tangible benefits. The intangible benefits are that your machine looks very neat and clean on the shop floor. Apart from that, the grinding wheel life increases because imagine a 5 micron dirt particle hitting your grinding wheel at 6 bar or 8 bar pressure. The frequency of dressing is reduced because of the highly filtered oil. So these are some of the intangibles. Some customers have even reported that they could increase the speed and feed rates because the oil was highly filtered. So these are some of the parameters or avenues through which Transor India or Transor India systems can help cutting tool manufacturers achieve Industry 4.0 or at least plan their journey towards that. I guess that is all from my side about Transor systems. So if you can allow us, we would like to share some of the insights or some of the opinions that some of our common customers have regarding Zoller and Transor systems. So I'll just play a short video.
Good morning, myself Arun from Prism Tools and Technologies. Today I am going to tell you something about innovative Transor filtration system, company which is in Pirangut in collaboration with some German companies. We have been using this system last 2 years. Recently we also had the second system 3 months back. I would say the concept is fill it, forget it. We have only refilled around 50 liters of oil for our Enka machine in last 2 years in the first unit. The oil which comes after filtration is as good as the new one. There is hardly any color change or any impurities in the oil, and the finish of the tool which was on the new machine is the same in this after 2 years also. And the second unit is with some new improved designs, and it is very compact system. Our space is hardly used, and what we have from Innovative is really a good filtration system. I am very satisfied with the system, and I recommend everybody the same. Thank you. We are into manufacturing of solid carbide tools. Our firm's name is Prism Tools and Technologies, and we have been in this field for almost now 15 years, more than that in fact. And earlier we were using all that conventional projector systems where we used to compare our profile tools with tracings, and the accuracies during those level I would say were to the range of 0.5 and 0.02. But now when we really want to make some good profile tools, we need to have a system like Zoller. We are using Smile 420 model of Zoller with all facilities in all softwares, and with various inspection methods in the machine we have been able to achieve accuracies up to 4 to 5 microns or even lesser than that. And our inspection reports, when the customer checks at his machines, maybe similar types of machines, different make, or Zoller also, the repeatability is within 5 microns, and Zoller is really very friendly, and we are using the same machine last 2.5 years, and we have hardly spent a rupee on that. The company provides us good service, calibration services and all types of services. Their online services are available. They are just a phone call away, and I really recommend the system. It is one of the best measurement system in India or in the world as on date. Thank you.
In terms of quantity of improvement, there is a significant improvement between earlier filter and Transor. You cannot specify how much quantity, but it seems that it is much better than previous. We are getting good age finish, and oil quality is very good. We are almost 2.5 years we are using the same oil, and also top up also very less as per earlier one. There is a significant improvement after using the Transor filter. And in terms of Transor service, it is really good. Whenever we require, they are there. Always they help us. Whenever we require any engineer, within that day they resolve that. We never wait for them. They are very efficient. We are using Zoller since they come to India, and we are very happy with them. Everything is fine. Their services, we don't feel that they are our supplier. We are always work as a family.
Hello, we are using Transor and Zoller machines in our company, and the performance is very good. Filtration quality is also good for the Transor. Zoller we are normally using for measurements, and it is very good.
I certainly thank all the customers who could give their or share these videos with us. Mr. Arun, Mr. Kanchan, and Mr. Avinash, if you are there, we sincerely thank you for this. And now, I guess this is the end of the formal session, or the whatever agenda we had decided. We are through with those. If there are any questions regarding Zoller systems or Transor systems, please go ahead and ask them now.
So you can raise your hands, and maybe my colleague will quickly allow the microphone. You can certainly ask your questions.
This is Sunil Tareja from Switch Karwal, Himachal Pradesh. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first is thank you team Transor and team Zoller. Very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Both presentations were very good, and please make it a regular practice. Please keep us informing about the new developments.
Sure, sir.
Our team is going to get in touch with you for presentation on especially your solutions for Industry 4.0 and these smaller units for Transor. But there is one thing which is of immediate interest to me, that is form SKP, I think. Am I right? It's an SKP?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell us something more about that, and are there any videos available, any results available?
Yes, sir. Basically, the form STP Go machine we designed for specifically for edge honing measurement. So basically, there are tools start from, let's say, 1 mm on above, or the smaller tool than that. There is always requirement of the edge honing inspection for a special application. So we designed this machine, and then we provide the complete setup. The smallest measuring radius will be a 3 micron and above. Certainly, we can measure also the chipping on a tool. We can also we can also identify the different edge between the areas, like you can measure on a face geometry, or you can measure on a circumferential area. And we launch a new machine from this series now, we call Mu Focus. With this machine, we can also measure the surface finish on that particular areas. So basically, you can measure also inside the fluting, or you can also measure on the cutting edges, or you can measure also on a chisel areas. So this is specifically designed for that application.
Okay, so if form SKP and Mu Focus, if you can send us some details by email and some videos.
Certainly,
that
sir.
would be very nice.
Certainly, sir.
Have you sold any machine in India? Is the form SKP and Mu Focus?
Yes, the form SKP Go we already sold to Metal. We have machines in Pune, Universal. We have a machine at Aurangabad, at Ayut Tool, and we have also machine distributed at Chennai-based customers, at some machines at the Bangalore-based customers, and some machines at the Pune-based customers. Mu Focus certainly, which is recently launched. So this machine is not yet installed in India, but we have this machine in Germany at our technology center. We sold few of them in Europe. So we can also have live presentation for that machine from Zoller, Germany. It's also available. But I will share some documents and videos of those applications, those two machines. So you can go through it, and then we are always away from the one phone call. You give us the call, and then we will discuss on that.
Sure, it will be pleasure. And then is the question to Transor. This machine, what you show here.
Yes, sir.
How many machines it can take care? Let's say robotic CNC 6 times. How many machines it can take care? What is the storage capacity? What is the LPM?
So our entire design is based on liters per minute, that is flow rate required. Right now, this system is designed for a Walter Heritonic, It is 70 liters per minute, and the pump over here is 8 bar capacity. Right now, only one Walter can be connected to this system. The oil storage capacity is around 800 liters, but the operational oil volume required is around 600 liters.
Thank you very much. You are our partner since I think more than 15 years now.
Yes, sir.
We are very happy with the performance and the services. Same with Zoller, we started rather late, but then we are very happy, especially the training with us and the awareness which you are giving us. Dinesh,
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your feedback.
Dinesh, also there. Dinesh, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
We are very happy with the service of Zoller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Looking forward to hear from you.
Yes, sir. We'll come back to you.
This is not just a question, but this is just to tell you both of you have had a great presentation, and I will request you people to please continue doing this.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure, Mr. Hari.
This engagement is definitely going to help the industry, and I should thank even Sunilji also. The way he came out and shared his views is definitely going to help all in the industry. Thank you very much, both of you, Ajinkya and Amit.
Thank you, Mr. Hari.
So, for more questions, definitely we are there for another 6 minutes, or we can simply write our email IDs in a chat box. You can copy that. You can write your views. You can write your questions, and our regional team or our direct headquarters can directly reach to you with the answers. So, more questions, you can raise your hand or you can directly unmute yourself. You can ask us. My colleague will quickly type the mail IDs in the chat box. You can copy that. So, I hope there is no question at the moment. So, we wish really a good health to you and your families, and we definitely expect more questions from you. Whenever you get time, you can write us, and then definitely we'll be always there to the doorstep. No worries.
I thank everybody who joined and could spare 1 hour with us. I hope basic questions at least regarding our systems are answered. Certainly, and you can get in touch with us anytime. And I especially thank Mr. Salunke to allow to do this presentation inside the wonderful Zoller showroom. I recommend everybody who is on this meeting that whenever you get a time, whether you have a requirement or not, just please plan to come over here and see the wonderful facilities. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Fine. We'll end the meeting now, and thank you very much for joining in.
Thank you.